Joe talks about Joe. And now, your host, Joe Slepsky.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to Joe on Joe. It's me, your host, Joe Slepsky, and we are back this week talking about G.I. Joe Renegades, but this time we've got a special guest. We've got the owner, operator, host of, originator, all things Geekscape, Mr. Jonathan London, joining us for G.I. Joe Renegades. Jonathan, welcome to Joe on Joe.
Hey, thanks, Joe. I think you pretty much blanketed that one.
Yeah,
Like,
right?
yeah, I mean, it's grown into a lot more since we started it in 2006, like as just a podcast. Now it's a podcast network, and we're publishing comics, and we've sponsored conventions and put out all sorts of fun stuff.
Crazy
companies,
impressive.
Films. Yeah.
Crazy
I don't know. I'm
impressive.
just trying to make stuff.
Yeah.
I like stories.
Yeah. So when did Geekscape start? And listeners, if you're not familiar with Geekscape, you should be. They've got how many podcasts are in your network? I'm looking at it. There's 5.
I don't know, Joe. Like,
I'm seeing at least 25 different podcasts on your network.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
The problem with Geekscape, the flagship show, which isn't even, I don't even think we're ranked in the top 10 of the shows on our network, because I mean, like some have heard of us and like come over and been really well. And then we do like a farm system where the podcasts grow, and we try and support the podcasts by bringing them to Comic-Con or different conventions wherever they are, and supporting them. So we try and make sure that like we have collaborations going across the network, that we're growing things out. But if Geekscape, the flagship show, which started in 2006, like it very quickly became clear that my knowledge of pop culture is a mile wide but an inch deep on a lot of topics. So, I have my blind spots, and I can talk horror, but I can't go crazy in depth horror. Mm-hmm. And for podcast fans, they really want to go all the way in those niches, and I'm down with that. But there are other podcasts that can do it better,
yeah.
And those are hopefully on the podcast network. And so, very quickly, we realized that like Geekscape's great for like a grab bag of topics, mm-hmm. my own show, but man, the network has really done great with shows that specialize in things like filmmaking, comic books specifically, horror movies. We have a show all about Weird Al Yankovic.
Yeah, you do.
Like,
you do.
Every episode is a new Weird Al song.
Yeah,
working its way through the discography, and I'm proud of those. We have other ones coming up, but
superhero stuff you should know.
Oh man, I love Ben's
nerding
show.
out on neurodiversity.
Done by 2 professors. Speaking about the spectrum.
Yeah. Oh, that's
really popular show.
I'm assuming it would be. Yeah. One Hit Thunder, which I'm assuming is about one hit wonders.
It's amazing. I love One Hit Thunder.
Christmas 365.
Which I said, I don't know about this idea, Matt Kelly, who runs our network. And Matt is like a crazy podcast scientist. Like he thinks of all these ideas, and he pitches them on me, but he really shouldn't. Matt, just don't pitch them to me anymore. Like, just do it. Because Christmas 365, I was specifically like, hey man, people gonna be listening to this in July? Yes, Joe. Yes, they will. yes, they will. And from like December to January, that show is number 1 on our network or something like that. Like it jumps crazy.
Yeah, sure.
It's definitely in like the top 3. But like in July, I still see it pulling down.
Is it weekly?
Numbers.
Is it weekly?
I think you gotta ask Matt. I think it's month. No, I think it's definitely weekly in the holidays.
Yeah, let me just click on it.
I just don't know enough anymore. Like the
God
podcast
bless
network
him.
has gone so fast. Matt really has taken it under his own wing and made it his own thing, and he's awesome. That's why he's part of Geekscape.
Yeah, I think that's great. That's really great. 80s kids unite. That seems like one.
Love 80s kids.
That seems like one our listeners would dig on. And you got multiple horror. It's great. It's a nice cornucopia.
We got so many horror shows. Matt will not say no to a horror show that is well produced, and which is great because I see all those folks at Comic-Con every year, and I show up and it looks like a freaking Tim Burton convention at the booth, And same thing with the Weird Al. Like they do a Weird Al panel every Comic-Con, and I didn't know there were so many Weird Al podcasts, but all the hosts end up on this Weird Al panel that we do at Comic-Con. And then they come and do a signing at the booth where they can meet the people from the different podcasts audiences for the Weird Al shows. And I show up and I'm like, dude, this is awesome. It looks like
That's
I feel
great.
like I'm watching late 90s, MTV or VH1. I'm like, we all love the same music.
Yeah, that's really
the
cool.
stuff that Weird Al would parody. Absolutely love those folks, man. Love all the horror folks, love all the Weird Al folks.
That's really
love all
great.
the
Yeah.
Geekscapists.
Well, Weird Al's definitely, he's had his resurgence and crown given to him, I think, in the last, say, 10 years. And horror's definitely having a moment. So those are great to have in your thing. I like it. Not to just be too bland about it, but I really like it that you're spraying to all fields with just with a big umbrella of fun,
I love everything.
it seems.
I just love stories.
Yeah, right. It seems positive.
It's taken everything I can to not do a Utah Jazz basketball podcast. like that is how niche and weird like our brain goes.
Yeah.
And so like if you're a geek about cars, great. There's a place at Geekscape for you. There's not a show yet. Maybe you do the show, but I'd love to have a sports centric show with a geek pop culture bend because I love that stuff. And obviously, The Ringer and places like that do it really well. I don't know if we could ever touch what Bill Simmons built, that kind of stuff. He's just a really talented writer and a great host. But I love that stuff, and I get caught in those conversations all the time. I'm not a car person, but I definitely went online and looked for a Darren Peterson jersey this morning. Was like, okay, he's the Jazz rookie.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
I think
filling in that blank.
I mean, I'm in love with the guy.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, this dude is amazing. And so little things like that, people are like, oh, you're a fan of that stuff? I'm like, yeah, I'm a fan of a lot of different things. Again, a mile wide and an inch deep.
I know so little.
Right?
I know so little about cars. Like in accidents, I'm the worst. I'm like, it was
People
blue.
ask
I'm like,
me-
it was blue. It was a blue car. So like, what kind of car was it? It was blue. It was a blue car.
I'm pretty quick with the camera now at this point. Like I have a car camera and everything.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
tired of being dinged in LA and having somebody ding me.
Kinda have to, yeah.
But I kind of have a car camera. But when people ask me like, what's your favorite car? I'm like, the one I get out of.
Yeah. The last one I was
I think
in.
I think that's always for me. To be serious, like my older brother was killed by a drunk driver in the 90s,
gosh,
and
I'm
that
so
led
sorry.
to like. Sorry to do that to your show. Right
Oh
off
no,
the
no,
bat.
no, no.
But
I usually do that to
I-
myself, to my own show. So I thank you for one of my
But
listeners
I'm always like, oh man, yeah, my favorite car just is the car I get out of.
Yeah.
I appreciate cars, I appreciate car culture, but obviously I appreciate responsibility as well.
What do you appreciate? What
I'm
do you
not-
appreciate
yeah.
more, hosting or running the network? Like the overall experience of running the
I'm
network.
terrible at running the network. Matt runs the network. I don't even know the shows on my network, Joe. Like you just listed a bunch of shows I haven't heard about. Just kidding. I've heard of those shows, but every now and then.
Well, don't
like,
worry, they
I'll
won't
be
hear
up-
this show. So they'll.
I'll join the network. I'll be uploading an episode of Geekscape, and I'll look at the roster. I see the whole roster,
Yeah.
and I check the downloads and things like that, and just kind of see like, oh, where should we put? Who's doing well? Like, where should we put some more emphasis? And who needs help or who needs a collaboration or. And I'll look at the shows and I'll just be like, what the hell is that? So I'll call Matt and be like, what is this? He goes, oh, we added it a month ago. Or he'll be like, oh, you know what that is? I told you about it. I was like, yeah, and a text with 40 out like other things.
You got your
And I
finger,
just
got your
love
finger
it.
on the pulse. Love it.
I like hosting. Like I've been
Yeah.
hosting since college,
Crazy.
college radio.
Dude, I was
and
gonna
that
say college radio. Where'd you go to school?
Yeah, Penn. And so we had a college radio station in our building. We had WXPN 88.5 Philadelphia. So I would go in there and we would do a bunch of characters and stuff. I would ask comic book people to come on the radio, but they wouldn't want to come on.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to interview people. Like my heroes were people like Conan and Letterman and Greg Kinnear on
Yep.
Talk Soup. Those were big for me. And so I went to college for radio and very quickly realized nobody wants to come on a college radio show with some nobody. But
Can you still do the call signs? Can you still do the call signs?
Well, No,
Like,
I don't know.
Like,
But
I mean,
Kevin and I were really.
WKBXA.
I'm just going to do an impersonation of Howard Stern.
Oh
doing it
yeah,
in
right.
private
Right.
parts.
That's what I'm thinking.
But WXBN heard the show and they shared a building with us. And I remember their main guy, Vinny Curran, being like, "Hey, why don't you guys take Sundays like 10 to midnight or midnight to 2? What do you guys want?" And WXBN's huge.
Yeah.
It covers from Lancaster. It covers like Lancaster
Wow.
to like some part of Maryland, like in part like half of New Jersey. And so I was like, well, they probably go to sleep early. So let's take midnight to 2. And then immediately, as soon as we did that, we started calling up record labels and be like, hey, Blink-182 is playing in Philly. Like, can we get them on the air? Can we get all these bands on the air? And we'd show up to do the interviews, or they would come to the studio and be like, you guys are college kids. Like, what the hell is this show?
Oh,
and we're
wow.
like, but
Yeah.
then that started the music videos, and the music videos led to filmmaking, but hosting was always the beginning.
Crazy.
So Geekscape was always going to happen. I was always going to go back to hosting and podcasting, and we're proud of what we did.
You should be.
And,
You used to
excited.
make music videos.
Still do.
Still do?
Occasionally. I mean, there's just no money in them. But
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
like,
yeah.
like I used to do a ton of music videos. I was telling somebody about a music video the other day that I'd totally forgotten. Like that happens where I'm like,
Yeah.
I did a video for that band. I remember them. Oh yeah, they're about to go out with like Blink-182, or I remember we all those bands were so important to me. So when you listen to Geekscape, our theme song is done by a band called Punchline. They were signed to Fueled by Ramen the same day as Fall Out Boy. So, and I remember shooting the Punchline video, and they put the money into Fall Out Boy, which is fine. Like Fall Out Boy did very well, but I love my Punchline guys. And Chris from One Hit Thunder, the co-host, is in Punchline still, and they're
Oh,
still one of my
very
favorite
cool.
bands. But yeah, very quickly we were doing bands for a lot of the ska and punk bands like Real Big Fish and stuff like that. I did a lot of videos for them and stuff like that. So I still try and do videos. It's really hard. It's hard to make them good.
Yeah.
Because you have to. I feel like music videos have to move a lot, and it's hard to reuse shots a lot. It requires more setups than a narrative if the concept is energetic. And I choose songs that have a high RPM and are very energetic and poppy and bouncy, and that's the music I like. But that requires a high. You can't just set the camera and wander. Those are slower songs or ballads, and I've done those. I did one for a band, one of the Get Up Kids side project bands. We did a beautiful video in Austin where we were just in canoes, and that was a slower video that we shot over the course of a day. But
Well, for so long,
yeah.
movies.
The New Amsterdams was
Okay.
that band. I love that band.
Yeah. The trope was that movies were following videos in the sense of style. You had a lot of the Michael Bays of the world coming over from doing videos first. So now that movies have caught up to what videos were, the question then is what you're saying now, where do videos go?
It's all YouTubes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
music videos. Music videos.
I see bands all the time, and I see the bands I love, and I'm just like, man, I'd love to do a video for you. But like when bands can't even afford gas to get to the next city, or like when gas prices are this high, or touring is this expensive, it's really hard. And so sometimes I tell bands, like, just shoot it on your phone, or I'm going to come and shoot it on my phone, because I did do a $50,000 music video in the last 2-3 years, but those are so rare to get anything above 10 grand. And then you paying people out, you want to have a lot of it in front of the camera. So paying people lower is something you're incentivized to do, but we don't like to do.
Right.
It all should end up in front of the camera. And because again, like that metabolism of keeping things energetic and keeping things moving and having a ton of setups, like disproportionately more setups on a bouncy, fast RPM music video than there would be in a narrative. But then you see bands that are just creative. Maybe I'm just not creative enough. Like you see bands that are, I mean, you just see bands who are like, oh fuck,
Sure.
that was just a brilliant ass idea. But
Well, there are people, there are creatives that have who they come up with something where you're just
crap.
like your brain's not operating on the same level.
Didn't see it.
And yeah, wouldn't have seen it in a million years. Wouldn't have seen it in any kind of
Didn't see
rewrites, any kind of whatever. You've thought of this angle 100%. That's insane.
Which
and
is why collaborating's important too.
Yes.
I
Yes.
try and be the least talented person on my sets for that reason. Straight up
Well,
being honest with you.
I don't think I think you're selling yourself short as far as levels of creativity, because you're talking you've done the radio, obviously Geekscape, the podcast itself, the network. That's a level of business level creative, even though apparently your partner runs it, but there's still a vision. There's still a vision. You've directed, and now you're doing another comic book, but you're doing comic books now, and you've got Super Action Man comic, which I've read. I loved.
Thanks, man.
Is that getting kickstarted right now as we speak, or are you gonna you're gonna have that to sell at San Diego? Where's the status of Super Action Man? And then we're gonna talk about what it is.
Joe, maybe I'm messing up, but like we print these things when they go to Kickstarter. So and then like
great.
hopefully the money comes back. So like I just don't like people waiting for this stuff.
Awesome.
Like to
That's
me,
the best.
I want them to have it as soon as the credit cards clear or the money clears, which happens. I think there's a 2-3 week holding period to make sure everybody's credit cards don't bounce after Kickstarter closes. So I want that stuff as soon as that is locked. I want them in the mail. With Hear the Prophecy, it was tough because my brother was signing the issues. There's a lot of the issues my brother was signing as well. That stuff's really hard because Paul is wrestling and he's not always nearby.
And your brother, for listeners, we talked a little bit about before we went live. Your brother is Paul London, who was a WWE wrestler.
Was a WWE wrestler,
And
he still wrestles.
Where's he wrestling these days? What circuit?
Well, he lives in Orange County, which shouldn't be too hard, except he's never there. He's always wrestling somewhere. So I'm like, dude, can I come and have these signed? And I literally, Easter weekend, because he's hostage with a family.
Oh, yeah, right.
We sat and signed these damn things for 2-3 hours, where it's literally just me handing them and being like, that one goes out to Michael, write that one out to Robert, that one goes to Rebecca, and he's like, what's the spelling on that? And I'm just like, I have them all lined up just waiting for them. If it was up to me, the second those credit cards clear, the next day they go in the mail, which is the plan with Sam, because they're sitting at my producer's place right now. We've already printed all of them. We just want to get the money back that we invested, some fraction of the money back that we invested in them.
Sure.
And so maybe we're shooting ourselves in the foot, like going and promoting a Kickstarter at Comic-Con at the same booth where you could just buy the thing.
Well,
somebody's going to be like, yeah, I could go to Kickstarter and buy it now for $7 plus shipping, or I can buy it right here for $7. And it's $7 because it's a bigger comic. Like, Here the Prophecies are $5. This one has more pages. But like, I don't know if we're gonna get a whole lot of traction on Kickstarter at Comic-Con.
Probably not.
Like,
probably not on Kickstarter.
Book,
no, probably not on Kickstarter.
The book, right? I could buy it and go home.
But that's the
which you should. But we do have an incentivized convention only cover.
What is this?
Yeah. Do
you know who's the artist on it, or
it's
can
done.
you share that?
It's done. It's printed. We have a cover that's only going to be at Comic-Con and at my signings. It's not going to go to Kickstarter.
Yeah. Tease us, like who's the artist? Who's the artist, or what's
Well, Jeans Holland in Brazil is the artist. He worked with me when I was writing Miami Vice, and Jeans is the man. I love Jeans, and he did a piece of artwork for me with Trump. With Sam and a political figure, and because that political figure is a bit of a lightning rod, and their followers are a little psychotic, I don't want to put it on Kickstarter.
That checks.
It's gonna piss people off.
Yeah, that checks.
But if you come to the booth and want to buy it, I'll sell it to you for sure.
Awesome.
But I do call it the Say It to My Face cover, because like if somebody has a problem with the cover, I'm right there.
Yeah.
I'm at the con.
Yeah. That's great.
Across the table, or I'm at a signing across the table. If you come and you're like, you can't put but it's very Hitler punch.
I was just going to say, I was going to guess that. Is it Cap punching Hitler? Yeah, well,
it's like Cap punching Hitler.
Sometimes memes work for a reason, The
first cover we did for Sam holy crap, 15 years ago was Sam punching, and they were all alive at the time when the comic came out, but it was Sam punching Bin Laden, Gaddafi.
So... Super Action Man.
Kim Jong-un, not Kim Jong-il, whoever the dad is. Like, he's just kicking all these guys' asses.
Punching the dead guy.
He was. Well, they weren't dead at the time.
Oh, so maybe he killed them.
Maybe Sam had something to do with that.
Maybe we don't know his whereabouts. So Sam, Super Action Man, he's been around for a little while. That's what you're saying. This is not his first go in the
No, but this is
what's
best go.
what is best go. It's very enjoyable, listeners.
Thanks.
It's basically a homage combination of like GI Joe, 80s canon movies, ninja movies, Gymkata movies.
You make me so happy.
Yeah, Lone Wolf McQuade kind of stuff, like all
the
that,
greats.
all the greats, absolutely the greats. And it's set in the modern times with some good flashback stuff to it, and basically Sam needs to rescue some dignitaries, and they fight the forces of, I believe they're called evil, right? Yeah. Forces of E.I.V.I.L. Whatever,
Yeah.
evil.
If you ask me what it stands for now, I would have to look it up again, because
but it's great. It's got a lot of
It's
got a lot of like old school Ivan Drago vibes to it. As far as the villains go, there's some American Gladiator fun thrown in there.
A character I made up on the radio in college, Razorblade and Hydra were characters. Yeah, we made them up on the radio, and
wow,
like now stuff we make up on the podcast, so we put in the comics. But some of these characters, those two specifically, we made up on the radio, and now they're in comics.
So what are the origins of Super Action Man? Let's focus on him. What?
Super Action Man was like the narrative origin, or the one that started.
Well, like in the real world, like how did you? Yeah,
I was walking around Comic-Con. We were having a discussion on the podcast, the old podcast Geekdrum, right before Geekscape, about Blockbuster Video. And Blockbuster Video used to have a section next to the action section that was smaller and tailored towards more unique palettes, called Super Action. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that specific category, but I mean, I can imagine.
In Blockbuster.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
There was an action section which would have the traditional movies, like you'd pick up like Bad Boys and maybe Die Hard, and it's where you'd expect to see those, was in the action section. Then there was like one or two just shelves next to it that said Super Action, and those had like you said, like Gymkata, maybe a Lorenzo Lamas
Enter the Ninja,
right?
Yeah.
Ninja 3, whatever the possession one is. You have all these amazing movies where you're like, oh, if I actually want to mainline this shit, like shoot it into my veins, I'm going to the Super Action section. And that's where Super Action Man's from. When we were talking about this stuff on the podcast, my producer George had sent me this Speedo with Spider-Man on it. And so I was like, I went and got a Rambo wig, put the bandana on, and we went out to Griffith Park with a ninja costume and just shot a bunch of footage of me fighting. Not me, it's Super Action Man.
Yeah, sure.
It's like Severance.
For legal reasons.
Well, it's totally like Severance. Like
when
Sam comes on, Jonathan just starts being like, Jonathan would never run around like that. That's fucking insane and borderline getting like arrested, and I'm pretty sure that assault charges too.
It probably will deserve.
But Sam
and listeners, real quick, think wrestling trunks with the U.S. flag on the crotch, wrestling big red wrestling trunks with the big red wrestling boots, and then from the neck up, John Rambo, circa Rambo 2. Maybe Rambo 3, maybe a little more Rambo 3, but John Rambo.
There's
from
a trailer at superactionman.com.
And that's it, naked. Otherwise naked. No other clothing.
Listen, all I know, the story as it was told to me, was at Valley Forge, George Washington was so freaking cold, you could hear his wooden ass teeth clattering. So Sam gave him his pants. That's as it was told to me by Super Action Man.
I mean,
that he had pants, but George Washington was keeping the troops up at night, freezing to death at Valley Forge because his teeth kept clacking.
Redefining.
So Sam gave him his own. Yeah,
redefining patriotism for 250 years. That's what Super Action Man is.
In
universe, is he like an immortal?
I think he's a tall tale.
Okay. Like
so
Paul Bunyan type.
I think there's a future Super Action Man issue. If he tells me these stories, I'll relay them into the comic book.
Oh, sure. I can't wait to read them.
But I think there's a future Avengers team story, kind of Avengers style team story where it's him and Paul Bunyan and Pecos Bill. The character who would become Pecos Bill. And in those characters, all as some sort of Revolutionary War era team, of which at that age, I believe Sam would be like the Bucky character. He'd be the young upstart character, a bit naive. But learning about turning on one's own country as
Yeah, I mean, he
as the revolutionaries did.
he hasn't gone through
He's
the
technically
turmoils of the
British at that
Vietnam War
point.
yet. You know.
Well, he had been technically in the Revolutionary Era. I mean, he's technically British.
Oh,
He
sure.
is a British colonist, and then the revolution happens. So a young Sam would find himself to be conflicted in that situation.
Have you
You
told
know,
this story in any medium, or are these stories that you've
I
told
think that
like
no, I think I
on the
mean
audio?
there is
Or
a Sam Origins character like story that's written and should be a comic soon, but it's not the next one I'll do.
well, if you listeners,
But
if you
I
want
mean,
that,
I know Sam's origins. Yeah.
yeah, if you want this stuff, go to Kickstarter. What's the best way to search for it? Just Super Action Man.
.com.
Yeah.
Yeah. SuperActionMan.com.
Yeah, superactionman.com. If you're going to San Diego, do you have your booth number?
Yeah. 1632.
Go to booth 1632.
We've had that booth since 2010.
Oh, that's awesome.
We moved there a couple years ago, but yeah, it's 1632.
1632. Go there, get your copy if you're at San Diego. If you're not at San Diego, go to Kickstarter, go to superactionman.com, and get this book. It's a lot of fun. It is all the stuff we love. I'm speaking for the royal we because it is right down our alley, and I mean that.
If you're listening to
I mean that with
Joe and Joe
100, yeah.
podcast, dog, like
If you're
I
this-
wrote this for you.
Right.
I
If
wrote
you're
it
this
for you.
far into this show, then what are you doing? What are you doing? Check it out. At least go to the
I
website.
told you, I wanted more Larry Hama influence
Yeah.
in the art.
Yeah.
Maybe next issue. Like I'm trying. It's hard to nail down the 80s style, but every flashback in the comic should look like an 80s Marvel era
Sure.
Joe comic.
Sure.
And we tried. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there to where the flashback panels look like that. But Larry Hama is one of the only creators I've been too nervous to walk up to. Like I was Stan Lee's moderator. I've talked to everybody at every level of the comic industry, but Larry Hama is the one where I was like, no, you're shaking too much, dude.
So let's do that. Let's circle back to G.I. Joe. What does G.I. Joe mean to you?
Sitting on my floor with my brothers playing with the Joe toys, like it's huge, and we all, of course, regret the Black Cat. The Black Cat's era of G.I. Joe, where you're like, okay, let's either bury them or blow them in half.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
We all regret that, but I'm doing a panel at San Diego about X-Men '97, and Larry Houston's a friend that I met through being at conventions, and he was a producer on those G.I. Joe cartoons. And like you said in an email, he directed like pound for pound, one of the best animated sequences in cartoons.
Period.
But when that, I love the X-Men '97 intro. I love that X-Men intro. But for me, it is G.I. Joe the movie every time. No one has fought like that around the Statue of Liberty. Maybe Remo Williams, but who else has fought around not the X-Men.
He wishes he had that kind of energy. Yeah, both he and the X-Men would be the closest, and they wish they had that level of energy.
When it comes to Statue of Liberty fights, that X-Men intro is just crazy. The animation, the music, it's perfect.
He gave us the Snake Eyes backflip into the trouble bubble, which is one of the smoothest moves I've ever seen an animated character do without breaking a sweat. Hey, listeners, I'd be remiss if I didn't take this perfect opportunity, since we're talking about the great Larry Houston, to tell you that you can come and have dinner with the great Larry Houston, as well as like 15 other G.I. Joe legends at the Jamie Sullivan fundraiser dinner on September the 6th out here in Pasadena, California. This will be a night like no other. If you've heard the show before, you know Jamie Sullivan. He's raising money for some surgery and to help save his foot. And in order to do so, he has been pulling all his strings. We've got a murderer's row of G.I. Joe talent. Mr. Larry Houston will be there. Buzz Dixon will be at this dinner. Charlie Schlatter will be at this dinner. Michael Charles Hill, Frank Todaro, Greg Berger. The list goes on. You need to go to jamiesullivan.net and see the details. The TLDR of it all is $1,000 gets you 2 tickets to the benefit, and that it includes dinner, that includes as many autographs as you want to get from all of these wonderful ladies and gentlemen that are going to be there, socializing, hearing stories about G.I. Joe, things you probably would never hear on a podcast because they're going to be crazy stories. If you're out here in California, it's an easy trip. If you're across the country, it'll be a little more of an effort, but you know what? It's going to be a once in a lifetime opportunity for you. This is the celebrity benefit for Jamie's surgery. Go to jamiesullivan.net, check it out, sign up. They've also got some smaller ways you can contribute that include raffle tickets, and one of the tickets prizes is an opportunity to attend the dinner for just the cost of the raffle ticket. So there's a whole lot of tiers here. Go to jamiesullivan.net, help Jamie get over the finish line for his surgery, and we'll get his foot saved, and you will get a dinner of an absolute lifetime. I've been to a few dinners like this in my life. I've had an opportunity to hang out with the 85 Bears. I was at the Stan Lee roast back when I was in high school. There are moments that get burned into your brain and you never forget them. You dine out on those stories for the rest of your life. I still tell Rebecca stories about being at the 85 Bears reunion and the wild time that we had, and just the insight and just everything, meeting all these great people. And that's what you're in for with the celebrity benefit dinner for Jamie Sullivan's surgery. Go to jamiesullivan.net, sign up, see how you can help contribute, and see how you can come out and visit. If you're coming out to Los Angeles, guess who's going to hang out with you? Joe Slepsky from the Joe and Joe podcast. So that might be a deterrent. Don't let that stop you. I promise you, if that's going to stop you, you don't have to, we don't need to hang out. But if you're coming out to Los Angeles, the option's on the table to hang out with me. But you do need to support Jamie's surgery. Please, please, please go to jamiesullivan.net and check that out.
But not only is that animated intro the epitome to me of G.I. Joe, but, the episode where Shipwreck is, has a family, that weird ass.
That's the special, that's the Hasbro exclusive this year.
That episode was mind-bending to me because I didn't know the Twilight Zone. I was a kid.
Yeah.
And that Twilight Zone style episode blew my mind. But I still quote the movie all the time. I'm always saying something like, I'll turn your insides out. Or I'm always going, whenever I have a raspy voice, I go, once a man, once a man.
I always quote the doc, he's going to be okay, whenever someone like in a sports game gets murdered, or something terrible physically happens to someone. I just kind of lean back and go, he's going to be okay. The pit just called. He's going to be okay.
But I still read the Skybound stuff.
Yeah.
I read the Devil's Due stuff when that came out. I read the Joe Campbell stuff. I'm looking at a piece of artwork here that Stan signed for me that was Joe Campbell. But I read all that stuff. I love what Josh Robinson's doing with G.I. Joe now. I gave him a couple copies of Hear the Prophecy. I'd love to give Josh, if you're listening to this, I'd love to give you a copy of Sam at San Diego. But I'm just a Joe fan.
It's good. That's good. I love that. I love that. So you've had, but like me, I think
I paid to see the movies.
Yeah, I mean that's
one.
First of all, that's the hero. That's the yeoman. That's us doing the heavy lifting.
One.
So far, that's us doing the heavy lifting. Hopefully, the Danny McBride version makes that less of a chore. But Renegades, you've not, have you watched it before this?
No, it fell between those eras.
Yeah.
There was also a He-Man reboot that my friend Yuri Lowenthal was He-Man. I had no idea it even existed.
Yuri's great, yeah.
And I was like, what the hell? Yuri's in the trailer for Hear the Prophecy that we did years ago.
Is he really? Such a good
he's
dude.
A man.
Such a good dude.
And he's drawn it. We now drew him into he's a character in issue 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. He's a character in the series.
Nice.
Not as himself, but he plays a character in the series. And so I'd never seen Renegades. It has that style of animation that is like that era. But I was like, I don't know about this because I'm such a fan of the 80s style stuff. And
right.
And I do love that right now. And hopefully the He-Man movie, whatever that business model is where they put stuff on Amazon and it justifies not really breaking into the box office, which it didn't. Amazon's different, right? Like Tomorrow War definitely didn't do what it was supposed, what they want. It made 15 million at the box office or something like that with international, but it's getting a sequel because it was hugely successful on Amazon. That's Tomorrow War with Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
And so if Amazon's MGM are like, hey, let's put these out. The theatrical basically will be a giant advertisement that this thing exists, but they'll really just catch it on our streaming, of which we're Amazon. We're going to make money then. I'm excited for a He-Man sequel. I loved the He-Man movie.
I enjoyed it.
Now, all that to say, we are in this era where the source material is the guide by which we do this. And I hope the He-Man box office didn't shake us of that, because a G.I. Joe movie that is ingrained in the 80s feeling and the fun, which is what gives me hope about Danny McBride. That's what I'm looking for, is something that is serious, has its message, has its gravity. The world is at play. Like, the end of the world is what's hanging in the balance, but still has a bit of levity and still very much for kids and a toy.
I refer to that as the talking parrot. If it doesn't have the talking parrot element to it, whether it's whatever that means, that is not as appealing to me. I like it.
That's why we put a robot on the team.
Yeah, I like the talking parrot element. I like
there's a robot on the Super Action team,
and setting it. It's so ingrained in a certain time. You really have to set it in a time. It's not shades of gray. Today, if you set it in modern day, the whole world is shades of gray. You've got, Americans at each other's throats, shades of gray, right? You set it during the Cold War, 80s. It's real easy to set up, to put people in that us versus them, and them is not, it's not a terror from within. There's an outside enemy.
We do mention January 6th in the book.
Oh yeah. Super Action Man. Yeah, no, that's pretty funny.
A little bit of an argument over January 6th.
It was pretty funny.
Like, you look at the team and you're like, I had a meeting with Hasbro. We were talking about the different boys' toys. The subject of G.I. Joe came up. I love G.I. Joe, but I think, it's tough to sell because of the Americanization of it all and the sloganism of it. And I literally said, half these dudes look like they were at January 6th. What do you do with that? Like, how do you sell that overseas? I don't think it.
Yeah.
Was it a successful meeting? Probably not after
Did
that.
it endear you?
But
Did probably. Oh boy.
Not the best meeting. But I immediately was like, Jonathan, you got to give Super Action Man a team.
Yeah.
And I just started pulling from my favorite characters that I'd made up and making up new ones with my friend Brock. And we designed to make it a cartoon. We had storyboards done. We had people helping produce it, and it just didn't outrace itself. It never was cohesive. It was cohesive to me, but if you start collaborating too early, the cohesion gets diluted. And not to say anything about anybody else's ideas, but my own knowledge of what this wasn't strong enough to be able to be like parse through the creative ideas coming at me and be like, no, that's not really part of it. I don't see how that works. No. You really have to have a pretty singular idea. Then you start adding everybody's flavors to the meal, and I didn't, and so the cartoon just never really, the bread didn't rise on that thing. I'm just going to keep giving you cooking metaphors. So I said, you know what? Let's take that cartoon that I wrote. I liked it. Let me turn it into a comic. So let me start restructuring it for the page, the comic page, which I think I like the comic a lot.
Yeah,
and I like some of the ideas I have for future issues. We just got to get there.
Well, I think there's collaboration is I do think is really important. But I do
huge.
Think it is. But I do think that there's a reason they have a showrunner. Like you do need even in all whatever if it's two people or if it's a room. You need someone with a vision, someone with a clear rudder to go, this is what we're doing, and then how can we all accent that? I think,
and I hadn't cracked it.
Yeah,
I hadn't cracked it.
Yeah, and I think that when that's not understood, I think that's when issues arise, both in the final product and then also in the collaborations. It's really hard to be a 50-50 team. and not murder each other, Simon and Garfunkel,
Well,
you know,
now that I've written
those kinds of.
a bunch of these, and now that I hear all the voices in my head, I'm like, oh yeah, let's go forward. I know what Super Action Man is.
Yeah,
Like
right.
this could happen. So we send it. We can send it to. And now that I have a comic book, something you can hold in your hands.
Yeah.
Now we can send it
it's a
to
calling card.
actors or different people and say, hey, this is what this is.
Well, let's jump into watching Renegades episode 10 Firefight. It's a fun episode. There is an insane person in it, and that's a lot of fun. Listeners, if you're going to be listening along, get ready to hit play on your viewership. Also, when you're going online to either watch us online, say hi on all the social medias for us. It's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Joe and Joe Pod. Drop me an email to joeandjoepod@gmail.com if you want to be a guest on the show. I love having listeners come on the show and talk about their connection to G.I. Joe. And you can find us on Patreon. You can help us help keep the show afloat over on patreon.com/joeandjoepod. And definitely check out Geekscape, both all of the various shows on the network, the actual podcast itself, and the superactionman.com Kickstarter.
I appreciate it.
Just to give Jonathan all the support you can. It's a really, really fun.
Thanks, guys.
It's a really, really fun project. So get ready with those trigger fingers. We're going to hit play on the show in 3, 2, 1. Little desert landscape.
Well, I think it's important that you start with that eagle cry. If you don't start with an eagle cry, do we really know where we are?
Yeah, we don't know that we're in the desert. If there's no eagle cry, then we don't know we're in the desert. This episode, it's all about fires and water rights and like basically drying out a town. They're using all the it's about resources. Mm-hmm. They're using all the resources of this small town in order to fund their BioViper facility, which is located underneath this dam. So even though they do live in the desert, there is no water going to this town.
And can we be more subtle than having a giant Cobra symbol on the side of our trucks?
Well, that's,
I love how half the town's like, they're bringing us jobs.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if you know this, but in this iteration, Renegades, they're like Target. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, they're a huge corp. So,
and these people are like the A-team. Our GOs are like the A-team.
Yeah, taking them down one self-checkout at a time.
And that's the new iteration of Tunnel Rat, is what we're looking at.
It is, and he's great.
Yeah,
this Tunnel Rat's great. He's always got some good quips.
Roadblock is my favorite character, so seeing him with some facial hair was huge to me.
Roadblock's amazing. They also, I think he gets bigger, physically larger every episode. There's a moment in this later on. He's holding by a rope. That rope, it couldn't have been drawn any smaller. This mountain of a man, easily a 400-pounder, is like, I got it. We also get in this episode is cool. They've been peppering in other G.I. Joes that aren't necessarily part of this team as they've gone from town to town. So you've met Grunt. In this episode, you meet Barbecue, which is cool.
It's so smart.
Yeah. Although he's not, he's not Boston, he's not Redhead, he's not Irish, but it's still Barbecue, and that's still cool. He actually works for Cobra, which is cool. Barbecue's great.
Until it motivated me to burn my characters. My old toys.
Well, Barbecue puts them out. Barbecue puts the fire
didn't
out.
Put them out in my...
I was a blowtorch guy. I like blowtorch.
Do not destroy your toys, kids. Do not destroy your kids.
No, your kids or your toys. I was a blowtorch guy, and I definitely have to cop to being a kid who always had burned thumbs. I was fascinated with matches, and we would go to the bank, and I would steal them, and I would light them. Nothing crazy. But I would definitely have gotten in trouble. My mom would be like, why is your thumb blistered and black? I'm like, because we had matches, and I haven't yet learned how to light them without.
Joe, matches, we had gas. We brought gasoline
into
the woods.
I feel better. I feel much better about that. Did you grow up in Pennsylvania?
In Texas. Everything's combustible.
Well, that's true.
Everything's explosive.
Well, you guys have that. You guys have that. What's that explosive material that they always shoot at and it blows up? You know what I'm talking about?
Texan?
No, the Texan. Yeah, shoot at Texan. No, there's some kind of material that they shoot at, like like target shooting, and it just blows up. And I think that's big in Texas.
We used to put those in, like, we went and shot a bunch of, we made a documentary on zombies called Dock of the Dead. And I went and hung out with a bunch of preppers and people who were like, what if this really happened? And we went out in San Diego in the mountains and shot a bunch of targets like that with that stuff in them.
Yeah,
They were zombie targets, which is why we had them in the dock. And you hit one of those things and the thing blows to pieces. But I have no idea what it is.
Yeah, there's whatever the name is. It's
I'm
highly
Texan, but not that
explosive.
Texan. But I mean, one of my neighbors got his leg cut on fire, and like, you know, because he panicked when the gasoline was pouring, and it climbed the gasoline, which is really dumb.
Yeah.
And he dropped it, and it splashed on his leg, and so I tried to do the stop, drop, and roll thing, but he wouldn't drop. So I just started throwing dirt on him, and he's like, it stings. And his family's like, we trust you will tell your parents about this. And I was like, yes, I will. Maybe they're finding out right now from listening to this podcast.
Well, I grew up. My dad was
This is me telling them.
Yeah, my dad was a sprinkler fitter, so his job was literally to put out fires. So that is what he based his career. Every building we would walk.
He hated assholes like
me. That's probably why he was like,
"What are?"
Yeah, it's probably like he would look at me.
Why are you
with matches? What
gasoline?
are you doing? Are you trying to put us out of a job?
Matches wasn't enough.
Yeah. He walks into to this day, he walks into every building and immediately looks up to see if it's sprinkled, and then he announces to the room. The whole family were with him. He goes, all right, we're good. This place is sprinkled. Or you could see some buildings you'll watch.
Joe, did you see the size of his head? Snake Eyes just came in here.
Oh, he's got the motorcycle helmet. Yeah.
How Ninja is riding a loud ass motorcycle and sliding down the side of the middle of town.
Yeah, not very ninja. Also, ninja in the desert.
Homie, you're a ninja.
Ninja in the desert. Oh, but this episode does give us the first kind of like little hint of a Snake Eyes Scarlet, like little possible romance, which is it's cleverly done in this.
That's canon. What do you think is on this Baroness's reading list?
Mein Kampf, Ayn Rand, Ayn Rand, whatever she pronounces it. Definitely for sure. Ayn Rand, Mein Kampf, and Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance.
Is there a city hall you can't breach?
So here's a little flirt going on. We also met in the previous scene. We were teased with Firefly, which I have a lot of. Yeah. I love Firefly as a character. I love that they play him as a deranged psychopath because you would have to be. I don't love this design. The nose cutout that we're about to see on his mask is crazy and overly complicated for a show like this. Like, I don't know what you're doing.
What is so important? Looks like all the power lines from the dam's.
This show is close to being plot-wise kind of the most like an 80s episode, you know? Where they're really affecting a town on a massive scale, you know, stealing energy, you know, throwbacks to like Transformer episodes and things like that in order to disguise their BioViper facility. Like that's all very, very 80s Sunbow coded. And I like that. Who was your favorite, Joe? So you said Roadblock. Was he your favorite? Or? It was, yeah.
So I missed the lack of rhyming.
Yeah, right?
I want to hear some rhymes.
That's what I'm saying. That's the stuff that I think. Yeah, I mean that's the personalization stuff that I think any iteration of a Joe to be successful needs to have. It's the personality quirks and it's the outfits need to distinctively be their own. And this cartoon, I get it why they don't do it, but the movies didn't even try. And it's like
this version looks like he's just gone fishing.
Yeah,
like I'm like, you just going fishing, dude?
Yeah.
He's wearing like what it looks like Kevlar armor at the same time.
Yeah,
like he's got the vest on.
They're all going for this muted palette, you know. Which is the design of the show, so I'll forgive it that. But
in Sam, like obviously, like Roadblock. I have a character Razor Blade. The RB and the RB were, I was not that talented.
No,
I'm not that creative. I was like, I mean, that's my Roadblock character. Is a guy who just goes and smashes stuff. He's not an explosives expert, but he does go and just like bust a bunch of stuff. And for listeners, his weapon is a rolling ball, like in American Gladiators.
And he's an ex-American Gladiator.
Yeah, so America's like, yeah, well, National Gladiators in our book
National
is-
National Gladiators.
in our universe, it's
Yeah.
National Gladiators, and he rolls around in a giant ball, and he
current-
still uses it as his weapon.
It's-
His weapon's a giant ball he rolls around in.
It's he has to escape at the end, and he can't run.
Yeah.
Running would be not
Why would you
enough.
run?
Why would you run?
Yeah.
You need to ball, I guess. Ball.
need to
Roll. You need to roll. Yeah.
He goes, why run when you can roll, baby?
Right. So my question to you, logistically, is it a rolling ball with a gyroscope, or is he just running twice as fast inside the ball in order to keep the ball moving?
I don't freaking know. I know that there's a scene I want to do in a future issue where a bunch of guys are getting away in traffic, like he's stuck in traffic, and a bunch of guys are getting away on like motorcycles, and they're bad guys, and so he climbs into a statue of Atlas, and he tears the ball free and rolls over the cars after them.
That's
And so like
that's
he just
really great.
anything that you can roll in, he's gonna climb in and use it.
Can you put him in a giant donut,
go
like
after the bad guys.
from like a
Yeah, he'll roll in that
the,
thing.
The giant
He'll
donut
rip it off
that's
of
out here.
Randy's.
Yeah, Randy's.
Come after you, yeah, right
Yeah.
down the 405.
He should
come after
he should totally do that. Chase a guy. A guy.
like, "Let's go."
Bad guy's trying to get to LAX to make his getaway, and he just chases him down the 405.
Well, in this issue, you see that he creates an energy globe that he
Yeah.
can just carry on his belt.
Yeah, is
Because
that
I wanted him to have the ball, but he's not going to be carrying around a giant steel ball.
right?
I had to give him an energy ball that he could use at any time. Whoom. If he doesn't have his belt, though, he doesn't have it.
Yeah, you also have a fun a spirit analog. What's his name?
Eagle Wing.
Eagle Wing. Yeah, and he actually morphs morphs into a big old bear. Was it?
Yeah, that's like that was Brock's idea. Was like to have him have two shadow. You know, we all have two wolves that we feed.
Yeah, right.
And his shadow self is a giant bear that he kind of hulks out and turns into, and he doesn't have any memory of doing that.
Yeah.
But we wanted his equivalent on the villain team, because everybody is going to have a villain equivalent to the bad guys, that they can face off on, but he's one and the same. Like,
Oh yeah. Oh great.
yeah. Sometimes he can turn. Sometimes he loses control and turns into the bad guy.
That's great.
Narratively, I think like whatever power imbued Sam to make him impenetrable and impervious and super powered, I actually think whatever spirit gave that to Sam, I think meant to give it to Eagle Wing. He's just a better human.
Oh, interesting. Well,
And
I liked your inclusion of him in it, actually, because it harkened back to it broadened the reference points for your 80s homages, right? So it harkens back to the Demon Bear saga, the New Mutant stuff.
I love that stuff.
Yeah, and then it adds this element of mysticism to this book, which is without him, it's pretty straightforward sci-fi, tech based action, and then you get this obvious connection to magic that just throws a fun wrinkle into this world and brings this world beyond. Because old 80s Sunboat, they didn't have a couple episodes, they had weird magic stuff, but it wasn't magic based, right? And so I thought that really opened up the Sam issue a lot. So I really liked seeing that. That was smart.
Well, you got to give your character those weaknesses, right? Like Superman. I think they wrote to a point where Superman didn't have too many weaknesses beyond kryptonite. Obviously, like 4 billion humans is also a weakness because he has to save everybody. But magic is now canon as huge weakness for Superman. Like,
Right.
he does not do well with magic, and with Sam, he's pretty much indestructible. He is an idiot. he is an idiot, but he's also pretty impervious, indestructible. He can be tricked real easily, but his weaknesses, are you can move him, you can transport him, magic is huge. There's just tons he doesn't understand. He's my wonderful metaphor for America.
I was just going to say,
he's
that's
very strong and
that's
powerful.
a pretty good
but
metaphor for America. Yeah, we often
pretty easy
don't.
to miseducate.
Yeah, we often don't understand the ramifications
confuse.
of our punches. Yeah, so back on the show, we actually got some cool splitting of the team here. Snake Eyes and Scarlet, they're going after the BioViper facility. So they end up on this trolley with Baroness and Dr. Mindbender.
Even trade, right?
And
I don't negotiate with Cobra's enemies.
right, we saw an amazing fight between Baroness and Scarlet. It was short, but it was really great. Like Baroness gets thrown, lands on her feet, turns around, pulls a gun. Like it was well done. She kicks Scarlet off the tram entirely, and Snake Eyes does like a Batman Dark Knight move, jumps off, catches her midair, and saves the day. The whole sequence was really, really cool.
I'm going to go ahead and call this version of Dr. Mindbender Bendy.
Okay.
Because he just looks like the junior kid version of Dr.
Definitely.
Mindbender.
Yeah, definitely.
So
I like this. I mean, I think Charlie Schlatter does a really great job on this show. But I like my Bender shirtless and a cape and a fun mustache. That's my Bender.
yeah.
That
you
is
like
my
him
Bender.
European.
Yeah. That is my Bender.
This guy he's not even old enough to be a doctor. Unless he's Doogie Howser.
Yeah.
I mean, does he actually have a PhD? In what?
Well,
Marbles?
I think I read somewhere, and this listeners, if I'm wrong on this, don't at me. I think when they were doing this, because this is around the time of the first movie, the idea was that Joseph Gordon-Levitt might have been becoming Mindbender, not necessarily Cobra Commander. So that so he would have been this type of guy because he was the super scientist in that first movie. You know what I mean? And they thought he died, and then it was shifted to just make him Cobra Commander. So that might be why they went with a little younger version. Also,
You drive a Cobra truck, right?
Barbecue here, voiced by what's his face? He's married to Rebecca Romaine. He was in Stand By
John
Me.
Stamos.
No, he was in
just
Stand By-
kidding. It's not John Stamos.
Yeah,
Remember
yeah.
she was married?
Right, she was.
He married to John Stamos
What's
at
his
some
name? He's
point?
great. He was from My Secret
Yeah.
Identity. Why am I blanking? Literally blanking
We are
on his name
both
right now.
blanking on him.
But he's voicing this, and he's awesome. Jerry O'Connell.
Yeah.
Jerry
I love
O'Connell. He's great, and he does an awesome.
I was going to
job
say he's
as
from
Barbecue.
Wildcats, sir.
He's
He's from Wildcats.
He was in the movie. Wait, the movie Wildcats about football?
No, I think there was one. Tomcats? Is it Tomcats?
Tomcats. Wildcats.
Tomcats? It's
Wildcats is the one with Woody Harrelson and about football.
Yeah.
He was in
Tomcats is the one
Tomcats,
where they're
yes.
like
Yes.
when dude comedies were big.
Yeah, and don't they murder a hooker
Not
in
big.
that or something?
Not big enough for Tomcats.
I think they murder a
I think
stripper
the one
or
you're
something?
thinking of is the Christian Slater Very Bad Things.
Oh,
movie
yes.
with Jeremy Piven.
The fact that there's so many of them.
That it was a dark era
It was
for
a-
us.
It was an era.
Cis males weren't doing so well.
Yeah.
Not doing so great now either.
So
But at least we had our own movie genre back then.
that is true. Firefly had a previous run-in with the crew. He had set fire to the town. It was a pretty good scene. And when Barbecue showed up, he assumed that the Joes were starting the fires because remember in this version, Barbecue works for Cobra, so he still has to be
After the
convinced
water
that
goes
Cobra's
through the
bad.
hydroelectric plant, it's
I
diverted
like that
to
they give him. We see a
BioViper
giant
facility
scar on
below the
Barbecue's
dam.
arm, because he's a fireman. He's going to have scars. I think that's really cool. And we see all the same kind of scars, a little worse though, on Firefly.
Firefly.
Yeah, and it's like it's like you were talking about with Eagle Wing, his Dark Shadow. He's seeing what he could be if he stays in Cobra. You know, the Firefly is the crazy version of Barbecue, essentially.
I think there are iterations of Electro in the Marvel comics and
Oh, yeah.
Firefly in the DC comics that have those same kind of scarring.
Sure.
Because it's like, dude, you're lighting things on.
Yeah,
you're
would
lighting
be-
things up.
You would be messed up. See, so this part I don't like this open nose thing. That seems
Maybe
really
he has a
weird to
bad
me.
sense of smell.
But like with all the smoke inhalation, you'd think you'd really need it. It just seems overly complicated.
Yeah.
It seems too much.
Maybe
Lots of
he's still
smoke-
traumatized from I got your nose as a kid.
That is true. Maybe he's trying to find his nose. That was a dope move. He threw a grenade at Snake Eyes. He's one move, swings it, throws it back, and then
Yeah, you don't do that.
Yeah.
You don't do that.
Where's our water?
Tunnel Rat's building a levee to protect the town because they're going to release water from the dam to save the town from this fire. The problem is, and this was cold-blooded on Cobra's part, they didn't even build a dam. They built a wall to stop the water. All the water is being diverted down. Any levers or like pulleys or anything that looks like it would help be for a functional dam are all fake. that's diabolical. Like,
It's Cobra.
it is. It's not even like we're going to build it normal and then just divert the power. This is, we're going to make you think at one time at any point it's going to help you. And literally they're fake wheels and pulleys and whatever. That's crazy.
Oops.
So
we learned that in that earlier scene with Roadblock and snapping the wheel off the wall.
Yeah, it's a great move.
Where I was like, whoops, what was the point of this?
Yeah. So they're what the Joes have decided they're going to do is they're going to explode the dam with these Cobra explosives that are left over, and it's Roadblock and Bazooka. I'm sorry, Barbecue. Too many names. Roadblock and Barbecue flying the helicopter, and Firefly snuck on board, which they don't know yet.
But you can't stop her, can you?
And there he is.
She always returns.
This is a cool callback.
The flame is nature's
And he's nuts.
purifier. Salvation through immolation.
I like that person. I really like that characterization. Barbecue just said somebody ain't buckled up, which earlier when Barbecue was trying to attack the Joes, he snuck up on the car. Roadblock looks over his shoulder and goes, somebody ain't buckled up, and he hits, slams on the brakes. So it's a fun callback. It works on every level for me.
Fireman?
No, we're not. Tell Baroness.
And this is where the two sides of the same coin, a little bit going on, a little Belloc, Dr. Jones happening. But the chopper's going to crash. So what was your toy?
Spoilers.
What was your toy level like when you were a kid? Did you have a lot of them? Were you more into the cartoons?
Oh, between my brother. I mean, there were three of us. So
Yeah.
the Transformers, the Turtles, He-Man, and G.I. Joe, we just kind of mixed them all together and blanked it at them.
That's great.
But yeah, we didn't have too many vehicles. The vehicles are expensive. But
Yeah.
I think I had all four Turtles.
Awesome.
I think I still have.
Did
a
you
lot
see
of them.
this summer? It's the Turtles G.I. Joe crossover they're coming out with.
Yeah, I did. I ain't buying that. I mean,
I'm
got a toddler.
I'm not a Turtles guy, but I'm a sucker for a good
I'm
crossover.
a huge Turtles is maybe. No offense, Joe fans. Turtles may be my number one.
Sure.
Joe's my number two, but
This is a dope scene.
Not with a toddler.
Roadblock.
You're buying Bluey. Bluey's my number one now.
Roadblock and Barbecue thought they were going to sacrifice themselves to save the town. They really did. Snake Eyes and the gang show up at the last minute. They rescue them, and it's this really fun getaway. The water puts the fire out. We get a good.
Snake Eyes just has ropes everywhere.
Snake
He just
Eyes-
hides these ropes everywhere.
He also has, as we'll see as we saw in his origin episode, he has a trach tube everywhere. He's always ready with a trach tube, and he never gets to use it. So much so.
He's finally gone fishing.
Yeah, so much so we wondered if the figure came with a trach tube. That's how important a tracheotomy tube was to this version of Snake Eyes.
But I think I'm going to stick around. Help rebuild.
So Barbecue's going to stick around town, help rebuild. I like this episode a lot. I thought it was really well done.
Fish.
I think it hits on every level.
Nice one, fish fry.
It's barbecue to you.
Oh, and he takes the name Barbecue. There you go. I think it works. I think it works really well.
Great job.
Yeah. I think they did a solid job with the execution of this one.
If I was a kid, I would have loved this.
Yeah,
show.
lots of action, lots of shifting perspectives. It was fast enough to keep you moving. They didn't linger on things too long. Plus, you get the great
song.
Fred Willard. I mean, come on.
Listen to this.
Yeah, it's action packed and popping. So, Jonathan,
Good job, guys. Good job, Jarvie Pop.
Yeah, one of the things we love to do on this podcast, is when we watch shows, I love to talk to our guests and say, if you could be a member of the Joe or Cobra team, or Dreadnoks, or Ninjas, or whatever, what would you do, and what would your code name be?
Okay, my name. That's a hard one. That's definitely one to prep.
I
Hold
apologize.
on. No. Let me think. If I could.
A lot of times it's what would your job be, and then we find it from the job. That's usually how it
I
works
just love
best.
I love the coupon characters. I love the fridge. I love Sergeant Slaughter.
Oh, I know.
I love those specialty characters.
Okay.
It would be fun to have something like that.
I
It
know-
would be a
yeah.
communications expert for sure.
Okay. I got it.
Beyond
I got it.
that,
for
yeah,
you.
go for it.
So you like the mail away stuff, communications. What I would say is you'd be the long range communication specialist, you know, so like you like you know, like you're the guy responsible for global connectivity, and your name is Mail Away.
I was gonna say relay, but okay.
Do you like Mail Away? Or I mean, if you want to go relay, I think Mail Away works.
Mail away just sounds like mail order.
Yeah, well, it could be mail order too.
Like somebody's gonna get a package and jump out of it.
I think mail
Surprise,
order, so your call.
Relay sounds
Relay's
like
great.
You're going to, like, if you have static or you can't, you know, you're a communications expert. You're gonna like put things together.
Fair enough.
But
Relay,
can
you got
also-
it. No, you got it.
Relay is kind of the. I mean, no offense, it's kind of a better action name.
What
is relay?
What are you talking about?
Mail away.
Mail Away.
Mail away sounds like a receding. Mail away sounds like dismissed.
Okay.
Which I should be. I mean, it's the close of the show.
I'll take
feel
it.
free to mail
no,
away.
no. It's always your call. Relay, welcome to the Joe and Joe team. I like that. So you're Relay.
Thanks, man.
You Relay. I appreciate
Thanks,
it so
man.
much. You know, Jonathan,
I really appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you so
Thanks
much for joining
getting
me
to
today.
Get there.
Thank you for
Dude, of
joining
course.
us, man. This was
Dude, of course.
This was great. This was really, really good. Listeners, as we said before the show, check out all this stuff. Geekscape, everything Geekscape. Super Action Man, that's the big one. Kickstarter. Either go to the Kickstarter, go to his webpage, or if you're in San Diego, stop by and say hello. Maybe they'll have
1632.
Will you have the video of you running around in the wrestling Speedo?
That's
Will you
not
have that
me.
playing?
That's
I'm
Sam.
sorry. Will you have the video of Sam running around in the wrestling Speedo playing?
Probably not,
Probably
because
not.
he might be there,
Okay.
but probably not. Like
Okay.
he, you know, Sam might be somewhere. You know, he doesn't really telegraph his moves.
Oh, you never.
for obvious governmental reasons.
Yeah.
but he might be deployed.
You
to
never
San
know
Diego.
what'll happen at San Diego. It's always a wild time.
By the time
So-
you see him, he's been tracking you for hours.
Awesome. So listeners, check it out. Thank you, Jonathan.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you. Any parting words on your love of G.I. Joe?
Yeah. I'll just give you the Geekscape parting words, which is don't hate, create. Just go out there and make stuff.
I love it. And now you, Joe. And Joeing is half the battle.